In a world where unimaginable power and realms collide, there exists a place known as the Eternal Continent. Here, Dao Min Tu reigns supreme, his malevolence echoing through the ages. His name strikes fear into the hearts of all who hear it. Some submit to him, worshipping him as a god, while others invoke his name to soothe crying children. One fateful day, a girl's carelessness allowed a man to witness her. As her cloth was abruptly torn away, revealing her snow-white form, a scream echoed across the land. The man, arrogant and bold, challenged her. "If you're not afraid of being seen, come and fight me. Survival demands it." But this tale transcends mere mortal encounters. Dao Min Tu, the legendary figure, stands at the center of it all. For tens of thousands of years, he has wielded unimaginable power, committing countless evil deeds. His disciples, peak powerhouses in their own right, include the Devil Lord, the Demon Emperor of the East, and the Divine Emperor of the West. As a fiery red meteorite hurtles toward Wuji Peak, Dao Min Tu appears, intercepting it with a single arm. He tosses the meteorite aside, grumbling about the damage to innocent flowers and plants. "Long time no see, my dear disciples," he remarks casually. But the skies darken further. Countless spaceships and giant creatures emerge, and a soldier reports to the general. Their attack force obliterated. Watai, Dao Min Tu's disciple, weeps at the power of his master. "Awe-inspiring," he murmurs. The general issues a command. "This villain threatens our nation. I will personally end him and present his head to the emperor." Thousands of soldiers rally, shouting in unison to protect their homeland. Yet Dao Min Tu laughs, unfazed. "Watai," he chides, "are you so eager to challenge my cultivation?" Meanwhile, Jia Kang, another disciple, chants prayers, urging restraint. But the real threat lies in the stolen treasures. Mingzi, unable to return them, faces a grim fate. And as a fist hurtles toward Dao Min Tu, the legend faces his ultimate test. "Demon, prepare for your demise." The power of Dao Min Tu's fist reverberated through heaven and earth, distorting the very fabric of space. With a single finger, Ming Daozi deftly blocked the blow, acknowledging his opponent's strength while asserting that it couldn't kill him. Just as Dao Min Tu felt triumphant, unexpected arms wrapped around him, a pale-skinned girl wielding an umbrella. "Master," she said, her voice calm, "your fate has come. I am Wai Lin, your disciple, here to escort you to the underworld." Dao Min Tu scoffed, dismissing the notion that physical force could end his life. But seizing the opportunity, thrust a pencil-shaped artifact into Dao Min Tu's chest. Remarkably, Dao Min Tu remained composed, seemingly unharmed. Then, a sweet voice echoed, "Master, are you captured?" It was Li Theoduan, yet another disciple. She urged restraint, promising not to harm his body. But Theoduan's insistence grated on Dao Min Tu, who corrected her name with a hint of nostalgia. His sister's heart had softened, but forgiveness remained elusive. Suddenly the sky crackled with judgment. A girl filled with anger materialized, a fellow disciple named Hu Hu, leader of the Celestial Alliance. She declared that Dao Min Tu had squandered countless chances to change his ways. For the sake of the world, she would deny him any further opportunity to survive. Dao Min Tu laughed softly, seemingly trapped. "Feel free to cut. Feel free to kill," he told his disciples. But when Hu Hu questioned his sincerity, he raised a finger and revealed his true intent. "Of course it's fake. How can I admit defeat?" With those words, he vanished, leaving his bewildered disciples behind. Li Thiet Uyen sighed. "Master's divinely powerful," she mused. "But can we capture him again after all these years?" Hu Hu's tears betrayed her feelings, prompting comforting words from the group. Perhaps it was time for her to express what she truly felt. Meanwhile, in a dimly lit room, So Tang, exhausted from 7 days of continuous gaming, sighed. The omnipotent cultivation system had appeared on his computer unexpectedly, promising a mysterious reward if he conquered all the female characters. Choosing Dao Min Tu, he embarked on a path that defied heroism. So Thang, determined to win Hu Hu's affection, employed every means necessary. His favorite tactic? The classic, heroic rescue of a damsel in distress. He deliberately lured monsters toward her, waiting for the moment when she'd be overwhelmed. Then, swooping in, he saved Cher. As expected, Hu Hu was moved. She thanked him for saving her life and bashfully proposed that they become husband and wife. But So Thang cheerfully rejected her, setting off to find another target for his affections. Hu Hu watched in shock as he effortlessly manipulated countless girls into falling for him. Back in reality, So Thang counted himself lucky. It was just a game. Had he truly been transported to that world, his actions would have led to his demise 800 times over. Yet curiosity burned within him. What was the mysterious reward? Would it be a grand mansion, a sleek supercar, or endless wealth? So Thang's eyes sparkled with anticipation as he opened the enigmatic gift box. Life, however, isn't always a bed of roses. The message inside read, "Congratulations! You have received the mysterious reward, the omnipotent immortal cultivation journey." So Thang's face remained blank as he cursed, convinced it was a scam. The system chimed in, "You will be transported to the game world, where golden core cultivation awaits. A true, immortal cultivation life." And just like that, the system activated, pulling So Thang into the game world against his desperate pleas. The scene shifted and he found himself in the Celestial Alliance, arriving via a disorienting teleportation portal. Nauseous and dizzy, he complained to the system, which cheerfully assured him that such discomfort was normal. Surveying his surroundings, So Thang felt an odd familiarity. He asked the system where he was. The reply sent shivers down his spine. "You're in the Celestial Alliance." Horror washed over him. This name held weight, and he suspected the system had ulterior motives, demanding an immediate return to his original world. So Thang learned the price. To go back, he must cultivate to the highest level, transcending worlds. The commotion. So Thang attracted the attention of the guards. To avoid detection, he decided to scale the wall and escape, knowing that if Hu Hu found him, survival would be impossible. His eyes fell on a room with an open window. Light spilled from within, but no one seemed present. So Thang chose to hide there temporarily. Climbing through the window, he encountered a scene beyond his wildest imagination. A girl, clad in a mere piece of cloth, walked toward him. Clearly fresh from a bath, she stared in shock before her expression transformed into fury. So Thang's mind raced. He believed his life hung in the balance. The girl recoiled, fear etching her features. "Who are you? What do you want?" she demanded. So Thang scratched his head, sweat forming. "What if I told you I got transported here? Would you believe me?" he stammered. This girl was none other than Anan, the Celestial Alliance's senior disciple. Her clenched teeth betrayed her anger as the sword behind her stirred and flew into her hand. "Die, you creep!" Anan lunged at him with the sword. So Thang dodged, incredulous. "Big sis, let's talk this out," he began. But before he could finish, she attacked again. Gritting his teeth, he charged like a tiger, catching her off guard. Anan, surprised and unprepared, found herself disarmed as So Thang snatched the towel. She stood there, utterly exposed. Quickly covering herself, Anan spun around, her anger palpable. So Thang's sinister chuckle echoed. "This time, let's see how you'll retaliate," he mused. He assumed she'd adhere to traditional norms, afraid of being seen and unwilling to attack. But as he waved the towel, taunting her, Anan's rage flared. She demanded its return, and a green energy enveloped her body. So Thang found himself taken aback as Anan charged toward him, her movements unmistakably the water spirit sword technique. This skill was renowned for its immense power and incredible speed. But fortunately, So Thang had evaded it before. As the original creator of this technique, back when he played the game character Daomin 2, he knew its fatal flaw. The strength of consecutive attacks would diminish over time. "Don't even think about running, pervert!" And Nian's attacks intensified, yet Sothang continued to dodge. His familiarity with the technique allowed him to anticipate its limitations. While it appeared overwhelmingly powerful on the surface, repeated use would eventually weaken it to the point where even an ordinary person could defend against it. In a daring move, Sothang caught Anan's sword with his bare hand, then swiftly snapped it in two. The unexpected turn of events left Anan both surprised and alarmed. Sothang, playing the mysterious card, remarked, "Looks like you got a fake." However, Anan's response was far from what he anticipated. She delivered a powerful punch to his face, berating him for damaging a sword she had invested significant money in. Grabbing Sothang, she demanded compensation. The urgency stemmed from an upcoming competition among their sect's disciples, a crucial event where this sword would be essential for her victory. Seeing Anan's distress, Sothang felt equally uneasy. He used the towel to cover her, promising to find a solution despite the commotion they had caused. Anan eventually released her grip, realizing that someone capable of breaking her sword with bare hands couldn't be ordinary. Perhaps owing him a favor wasn't such a bad thing. Anan outlined her terms. Sothang could go free if he met two conditions. First, he must compensate her. Second, he had to promise her something. Desperate to escape, Sothang agreed. But when Anan revealed that the competition was a 2-on-2 battle with a superior spirit sword as the prize, he hesitated. To discuss further, she blushed and asked him to turn around while she changed. Sothang, muttering that he had already seen her body, complied. But just as he thought the situation couldn't get any hotter, Anan suddenly snapped, demanding to know what he was mumbling about. Their awkward exchange continued, and she insisted that, although the Qingjian sword was crucial, the broken items in her house required compensation. Sothang, ever the arguer, maintained that she had broken them herself. Anan smiled slightly, producing a token. She shook it and said, "If you don't agree, given my status, your sneaking into my room will undoubtedly require the intervention of the Celestial Alliance Master." Sothang was startled. He recognized this as the Celestial Decree. Legends spoke of its power to summon all righteous sects, and only 3 individuals in the world possessed it. He couldn't believe that this girl held such authority. Suddenly, a memory resurfaced. A wooden house. A voice. "Sothang, I did it," it had said. Had he misheard? The house was where Sothang and Hu had been. She gleefully announced that she had found a willing disciple to join their celestial alliance. Sothang was taken aback. Who would be foolish enough to fall for her deception? But Hu retorted angrily, insisting that the person wasn't stupid. In fact, he was the first disciple of the Celestial Alliance. Her first disciple. Sothang couldn't fathom that the girl before him was none other than the eldest disciple of the Celestial Alliance, Anan. Her surprise at hearing him call her name mirrored his own disbelief. Sothang lamented his ill fortune. Why had he sneaked into her room? If she reported him to Hu, he'd surely meet his end. Seeing Sothang's silence, Anan cut to the chase. "I've decided on the compensation. As for joining our team, do you agree?" Sothang strategized. "Agree first, then find an opportunity to escape." "I agree," he replied. But before he could finish, Anan closed the door, plunging the room into darkness. From outside, she informed him that the seal would automatically lift tomorrow, and she'd be waiting at the training ground. Desperate, Sothang pleaded for a blanket and directions to the bathroom. Ignoring his knocks, Anan departed without a hint of emotion. Helpless, Sothang sat down, laughing at his predicament. "Yesterday," he mused, "I was Daomin 2, wielding boundless power. Now look at me." His attention shifted to Anan's basket, where he found a pair of small pants. "Speaking of which," he muttered, "I didn't pay attention during the game. These clothes are surprisingly advanced." Suddenly, a little girl appeared behind him, remarking on his peculiar hobby. Startled, So Thang turned and playfully slapped her head. She cried, accusing him of lacking love. Realization dawned. This girl was the embodiment of the system. So Thang seized her, scolding her for putting him in danger. She claimed to have granted him the Golden Core realm, and asked what else he desired. But So Thang dismissed it. The world had 5 level divisions: innate, pre-celestial, master, grandmaster, and immortal. Golden Core? Useless against his enemies. Immortal emperors and saints. Ignoring the system girl, he resolved to escape the next day. As dawn broke, Sothang disguised himself as a bush and fled. I won't listen to Anan, he vowed. I'm not a disciple here. I'll seize this chance to escape. But 2 female disciples spotted him, labeling him a moving bush. Determined, he sought a way out, drawn toward a crowd gathering ahead. In the bustling crowd, a flamboyant man named Trong Vuhang persistently courted Anan, urging her to join his team. His claim? That someone as handsome and talented as him deserved a partnership with her. Whispers rippled through the disciples nearby, revealing Trong's reliance on his wealthy family and his questionable moral compass. Despite their discomfort, they hesitated. His father held the esteemed rank of Grandmaster, a force not to be trifled with. Anan, too, felt uneasy. She had rejected Trong 10 times, yet he remained undeterred. Her cold dismissal fell on deaf ears, and Trong continued his relentless pursuit. Don't rush to refuse, he threatened. If you decline, I'll have my father cut off the sex funding. And Nian seethed. Such people irked her the most. Amidst this tension, Nian spotted Sothang in the crowd. Swiftly she approached him, demanding an explanation for his presence. Sothang, fear evident, stammered that he was lost. Did she believe him? Anan promised punishment for his escape, and then posed another question. His name. Unable to reveal his true identity, Sothang settled on the alias Qin Shou. Turning back to Trong Vuhang, Anan declared, I've found a suitable team member. She embraced Sothang, announcing, Qin Shou and I will be a team. He's my fiancé. The revelation shattered Trong's spirit. He couldn't fathom what he'd just heard. As Anan departed, elated, Trong Vuhang ordered his subordinates to investigate Sothang's background. Anyone daring to steal his woman would meet a grim fate.